Be angry and do not sin. Do not let the sun go down on your anger, and give no opportunity to the devil. Now again, contextually, we're still in the same place. Be angry and do not sin. Do not let the sun go down in your anger, and give no opportunity to the devil. We're going to see later on that this relates to verse 30. Be angry and do not sin. It doesn't say don't be angry. Amen? It doesn't say don't be angry. Anger is merely an emotion. Anger is defined by the Oxford English Dictionary as a strong feeling of annoyance, displeasure, or hostility. And sometimes it's correct, it's right, and even godly to experience a strong feeling of annoyance, displeasure, or hostility. So the Bible doesn't say you can never be angry. We know anger is not necessarily sinful because God gets angry. He's angry with the wicked every day. Amen? Romans chapter 1, verse 18. For the wrath of God is revealed from heaven against all ungodliness and unrighteousness of men, who by their unrighteousness suppress the truth. The wrath of God, which is intense anger. Hell is a place where God will pour out his wrath for eternity. John chapter 2, verses 13 to 17. Jesus, the God-man, perfect humanity and perfect deity. John 2:13. The Passover of the Jews was at hand, and Jesus went up to Jerusalem. In the temple he found those who were selling oxen and sheep and pigeons, and the money changers sitting there. And making a whip of cords, he drove them all out of the temple with the sheep and oxen. And he poured out the coins of the money changers and overturned their tables. And he told those who sold the pigeons, take these things away. Do not make my Father's house a house of trade. His disciples remembered that it was written, zeal for your house will consume me. Jesus was angry. He was angry. And so, again, this is why the text says, be angry but don't sin. There are things that ought to make us angry. There are things that are vile and disgusting and evil that ought to create righteous indignation in us. But righteous indignation has to be in its proper place. And where is its proper place? Well, its proper place is when God's righteousness is that which we are indignant about. God's righteousness. Anger that puts me in the place of God is anger that is sinful. Secondly, this anger is expressed in a way that is designed to vindicate God and his righteousness, not to vindicate me. Paul tells us in Romans 12 that we are not to avenge ourselves. We do not vindicate ourselves. We do not avenge ourselves. Anger that is vengeful on my behalf is sinful anger. Anger that is misplaced is sinful anger. For example, if I'm on the job and I see something on the job that is disgusting or evil or heinous, and I have righteous indignation because of this thing that I see on the job, but I do not, for whatever reason, express that anger in an appropriate way by addressing whatever this evil is. But instead, I hold my anger in and then I get home and I kick the dog or slap my wife or my kids, now I have misplaced my anger and I'm in sin. Do you see that?